race into a 13-point run. She joins us shortly. Democrats made gains in Virginia's House of Delegates, even flipping state legislative seats in Georgia and deep red Mississippi. And as we said, New Yorkers chose the 34-year-old Muslim-American Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani over former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa to be their next mayor, casting more than 2 million ballots, which is a turnout not seen since 1969.
When we enter City Hall in 58 days, expectations will be high. We will meet them. A great New Yorker once said that while you campaign in poetry, you govern in prose. If that must be true, let the prose we write still rhyme, and let us build a shining city for all. And we must chart a new path, as bold as the one we have already traveled.
That part about campaigning in poetry, governing in prose, was a nod to Andrew Cuomo's father, the late Governor Mario Cuomo, who famously said those words and embodied them. This evening, after admonishing Republican lawmakers behind closed doors earlier in the day, the president spoke to Fox News.
You said today, you kind of admitted that last night was not great for the party. You said that the shutdown and your name not being on the ballot were big factors. You're the head of the party, so obviously the policies are run on in these states. Do you see that at all, or how do you read it?
Well, I do, because, you know, we've done so much. You know, energy is way down. Look at energy. We're going to have $2 gasoline. I did that. That brings everything else down. Groceries are way down, other than beef. The country's doing very well, but as Republicans, you have to talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, you know, I saw that they kept talking about affordability. Well, Biden was a disaster with affordability. He had the highest inflation rate in the history of our country, but you have to talk about it. It's no good if we do a great job and you don't talk about it. And I don't think they talk about it enough.
Well, his was certainly not the only post-game analysis. Here's a small sampling of some of the other reactions from the left and right.
It was a common theme last night, and that is people all over this country are rejecting Trumpism.
And no one should read too much into last night's election results.
Last night was a shellacking for the Republicans and for Donald Trump.
A radical left earthquake just hit America. The epicenter, New York. Now the socialists are celebrating.
Republicans woke up this morning and realized that they are no longer in a 2024 electoral environment.
What happened last night was blue states and blue cities voted blue. We all saw that coming.
Governor-elect, congratulations on your win, which was bigger than a lot of people expected. How much of that do you think was because of specific policy positions? How much of it was a referendum on President Trump, who had actually made gains in New Jersey a year ago?
I think it was both the articulation of a bold leadership plan. So many people throughout the state, when I would talk to them about what was keeping them up at night, and I would address it, would say, you know, we've heard that before. So that's why I declared a state of emergency on utility costs, to really galvanize the understanding that I was going to address things on day one, not wait for a 10-year plan or write a strongly worded letter, but actually address it. It also, I think, was because of getting to see everyone throughout the state, and then focusing on what Trump was doing that was harming the economy of New Jersey. Because really what people are seeing across the state is prices are too high. I am really focused on addressing those costs, and people need to understand where they're coming from and how this works. And I think that was very effective.
Your former House colleague and roommate, Abigail Spanberger, won the governor's race in Virginia. A lot of people were talking last night how the two of you represent a renewed emphasis on centrist or moderate Democratic leadership. Do you see that?
I think the parallels here are Abigail and I both run tough races. We both came into the House of Representatives in that 2018 cycle in Republican districts. So it wasn't enough to simply turn out the base. We had to make our case and swing the vote. And that is what we worked so hard to do in these election cycles. And I think that's why we were both so effective. So I think what you're seeing here is the traditional Democratic powerhouse vote coming out, working people. And I communicated to working people. I come from a background of labor. My grandfather, his job in a union lifted us out of poverty. I have 4 kids, so as a mom, people know I get what our kids have been through. I know what families are going through. So in all these ways, I think it was very effective to say, look, I'm going to take this on. And with my background in the military, I'm going to be very proactive and get to this right away. And I think that's what spoke to people.
There's been a lot of focus since last night on the contrast between you and Governor-elect Spanberger and New York's Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic Socialist. I just want to play a clip from his victory speech last night.
This Friday,
I'm sad.